He is a strapping young man. I highly recommend it. And then what we're going to do now is open up for some Q&A. Anyone have questions? Don't be shy. There's no questions are bad questions. So I think Hillary, you raised your hand earlier. Hillary, do you have a question?
Yes. Hi, Benjamin. Thank you for thank you for coming up today and share all your experience. So I'm kind of looking for advice right now. So I have a deal in 324 unit in Houston, Texas, Class A. You can see the Class A, and we had to close, and then I raised less than what I supposed to. I'm looking for about. So we raised 8 now, and we're looking for about 4 more. So it's kind of flat. So it's just like 3 or 4 of us raising, and then now it's getting flat. So
sorry, how much did you raise?
12, total of 12. But we raised 8 now.
12 million, and you raised 8 million.
8 million. So the Class A is about 110 in Houston, Texas. Bill 1991, 92. You saying it A minus, like that. So it's owned by a private equity guy. And for some, we end a contract, all of us like 7 figure in, and we raised about 8 million, but we had to raise 12. Now we was thinking to bring another co-GP or fund to fund in order for us to complete the purchase. So if you were in my position, what can you advise us to do? Because right now we stay flat at 8 million.
When do you have to close?
June 3rd.
So you have plenty of time. So you have $8 million in soft commitments, and you need 4 more. Is that right?
Yes.
What's the structure on the 8 million?
It's a combination of co-GP and fund to fund. So they have A, B, C.
What I meant is for the investors in the 8 million. What is their partnership structure? So what is the preferred return? What's the promote? Or what are you advertising to the investors?
I have the pitch deck. I can send it over, but it's about 18 IR.
Right, but what's the pref?
The pref is between like, what do you call? If you bring if 100,000, 500,000, $1 million, so we start at 6, 8, 9, like that. It depends on.
So it's tiered. It's an incentive mechanism to invest more.
To investment more, yeah.
So you have. So why haven't you guys gone institutional? If it's a $12 million, that's perfect for an institution.
So first of all, I am in the middle of few things. So I'm open investment fund. We'll get it going very soon, and we've been doing the syndication for quite some time. But this deal is kind of a little bit bigger deal that we used to do. So we used to do like 10 million, 15, 20, But this one is like about 30, almost 40 million, 35, 36 million. So that's why we have to raise a lot. It's a good question, yeah. But we didn't go to the institutional yet because now it's just like, okay, we raised 8 now. How can we get 4 more?
If you have $8 million in soft commitments, and it's not hard yet. So obviously until you call the capital, you really don't know how much the money's raised because people are going to tell you, hey, I'm in. And then until you call their capital and the money's in the bank, you really don't know how much are in. So
no, we can consider that it's hard. Most of it is like from co-GP that we have done in the past. That
okay.
So you can say that. You can that's not. And then like our co-GP, like myself, put almost 7 figure into that project. So
So what I would suggest is if you need $4 million and you want to go the syndication route versus institutional is, and syndication, right? The syndicated equity right now is extremely difficult to raise. $4 million is not easy to raise from a retail investor base. If you want to go the fund to fund route, you want to go the co-GP route, make it enticing enough and give away enough of the GP to where you can entice someone to come in and help you with the remaining split. That means that you're going to have to give away some of your promo. That means you're going to have to give away some of your economics, and that means that you're going to have to give away some of your fee. But it's probably worth it to get the deal done, so your credibility and your track record is stays intact. So that would be my recommendation to you is just give away some of your economics and entice someone to come in with your promo.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else have any questions for Benjamin? You can raise your digital hand, put it in the chat. Let me scroll through and see if anyone has any questions.
I have one more question. Sorry. You have the investor, and then you bring them on board. You talk to them every Monday or something like. So is it a club or just like a group that you just reach out to them?
These are my mom is part of an old like women's real estate group in Dallas, and she's pooled together over the years people that have that she became friends with, and they're all interested in multifamily. So now, but I've known these people for years, and now they're bringing their friends. But this is not like we're not pitching anything. We're just talking about multifamily. So it's just an area, an area where they can ask questions and they can talk to a live operator. But no, it's not a club. People join as they come and they just talk.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you, Hillary. Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Benjamin? Don't be shy. I know we went over quite a lot today.
I agree with Angel right there. That's very, very true.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb is, if you have to go out and raise $1 million, you should probably have the ability to raise two, because multiply your soft commits by two, and that's probably what you really need because they are soft commits for a reason. Mark, go ahead.
So Ben,
Yes,
I
sir.
was glued to every word you were saying because the way I'm seeing deals in Houston particularly is exactly the way you're analyzing them. You didn't talk about the absorption of the new product that was built in Houston. And the way I'm seeing it right now is it got absorbed late last year, and we're sort of starting, the stats I follow, starting to see modest, and when I say modest, I mean really modest tightening of occupancies and rent growth down there. Just wondering if you're seeing the same thing.
I'm not. So absorption is still net negative. In 2023, I think there was about 26,000 units that was delivered.
That's correct.
2024, I believe it was cut in half. And then 2025, it was 8. And now 2026, it's projected to be like 3. So the deliveries is coming down, but the market occupancy is still in the high 80s to low 90s.
Well, Houston's a 92% market, so that's not unusual.
Yes, Houston is a 92% market, but the total supply is so the total construction is coming down, but so the reason why I'm telling you that is because just being boots on the ground here is I'm seeing a lot of Class A stuff. Like, for example, there's a deal called Roan Residences. It's a triple A plus kind of trophy asset, probably $500,000 a unit in construction. It was delivered in 2024, and it's been 40% occupied for 2.5 years now. And they're offering now 6 months of not 6 months, 3 months of rent plus 2.5 months in like a gift card. And that's kind of broad based all over the Heights. I'm seeing it here. Like if you type in the name of a website, the name of a property, their website, you'll see kind of the live concessions that you're seeing. The data that you see on CoStar or RealPage or Yardi is quite antiquated. It's not generally as accurate. The rent growth that I'm seeing on CoStar, which is the data that I have to use for my investors, is showing negative. And I'm more than happy to provide to show you and provide you the.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but you're talking about a class I don't play in. I mean, the A class stuff's taking a bath down there right now, and we all know that.
I'm talking about all of Houston. So my portfolio.
I'm just not seeing that personally. We're maintaining north of 85, heading to 90 on all our properties.
Where do you own?
And I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm not there, boots on the ground. I'm not seeing that. So I'm really asking is that truly what you're seeing down there?
Yes. Rents are flat or slightly negative, and that's probably normal. I don't see any rent growth for the next year to 2 years. There's still a wave of concessions that has to get burned off, and there's still supply that has not been fully absorbed. In certain pockets in Houston, especially in the infill kind of inner loop area, and now we're talking about Class A, but if we're talking about kind of suburban kind of garden style product, depending on the pockets, like if you're in Pearland or you're in the Friendswood area, it's really pocket specific.
Very pocket, yeah.
It's very pocket specific, but at least the portfolio that I have, I only have 3 assets that I own in Houston. I own in Westheimer, I own in Southeast Houston, and then I own in I will own in Northwest Houston. I am seeing flat to negative rent growth, live boots on the ground.
What class are your property?
B. They're all B. So 80, 84, 84, and 99 vintage.
So the phenomenon I'm seeing in Houston is the concessions on the A-class product is pilfering B-class tenants. Because for the same price you can get, and that's going to go on for a while.
Oh yeah, it absolutely will. That's why it's more important than ever to make sure that you're buying cheap enough to the point where you can sustain that wave.
Make your money on the buy.
Right. So, but there still are concessions. Now, there are concessions in ways that might not materialize on the rent roll or on the the income statement. Like some people will like for some of the concessions that we do is we have a gift basket at the front of our office, and we have Easter egg. We have an Easter egg basket, and we have Easter eggs, and it's kind of like we play like a Russian roulette with the residents, so we keep it engaging, or like leads that come in, and it's fun. They like it, and if they kind of put their hand in a jar, they pull out like an Easter egg, and when they open it, they get like a free iPad, or they get like an ice maker, or they get like a free Apple Watch, or they get $1,000 gift card. So that doesn't materialize as free rent onto the P&L. But there are ways that concessions are still material, even in the B and C stuff.
We do flat screens actually.
Yeah, it still hits the bottom line, but it's just not on the rent figure. So
that's correct. Yeah.
Houston is still soft. There is no. I'm not seeing rent growth now. If you're seeing positive rent growth,
I'm not seeing rent. I'm seeing a big difference. I'm not seeing rent growth at all for 3 years. So
and you're seeing 85 to 90% occupancy.
Yeah, but we work really hard.
85% is light. You would want to be in the low 90s.
Oh yeah. No.
But that is probably what we're seeing as well, kind of broad base in the mid to high 80s, which is.
Yeah, we're trying to get 92 across the board. At that point, we can breathe a little easier. But to your earlier point, this is a tough business, so we don't sleep until we get up to that level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the most important thing is it's not just your physical occupancy; it's the quality of the tenant base. So like your qualification process, your background.
I can write a PhD about that.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So I mean, you can be fully. I mean, the deal that I'm buying right now, I have to screen every single tenant, 260 units that I'm screening, and they say they're 92% occupied, but 28 of them are completely delinquent. So, so I hear you. But yeah, Houston is definitely a tough market. You have to make sure you're buying cheap enough to weather this, this storm that we're seeing. So I agree with you.
Thanks.
So, brutal, right? Anyone that bought in 21, 22, they got hit with concessions, delinquency, overbuilding, delinquency, COVID, and then you had a doubling and tripling in taxes, doubling and tripling in insurance, and you had tripling in cost of capital. If you had floating rate debt, then your escrows that expire, your rate cap escrows that expire every 12 months. I mean, brutal.
Yeah. Tenants are stressed by inflation. You got ICE kicking indoors, all sorts of.
Oh yeah, brutal.
3% rates now, 7 for some of the debt stacks that I have. So it doesn't make sense.
Right. Well, good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff. Mark's always coming with the heat every time he's on here.
Yeah.
He's always coming with the heat. I love having you on here, Mark.
Yeah.
And you'll find the recording you were asking.
Yeah.
No, you'll find the recording on YouTube, and for anyone else who wants to watch the full replay, you'll see it on YouTube. So,
oh man, I get all nervous when I'm a terrible speaker, so I get to see myself.
You did
YouTube.
also. I meant to bet you did really good. Like I've interviewed a lot of people on our show. It's and some of them it's like forcing answers, and I didn't have to do that with you, so I'm cool with that. The more you talk, the easier my job is. You know what I mean? So
Great.
I appreciate it. All right. Get Jenny on here. Hey, Jenny, you have a question?
Yes. Thanks, Logan. Hi, Benjamin. You're an excellent speaker. You did a great job.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much for all the information. No, you did great. So I have more of a question about the structure of your company. So it's you and your partner, right? And you do primarily acquisitions and capital raising. And then you said you also have a VP of operations and then asset manager. If you kind of walk me, who does what? What's the structure of your team?
Yes. So that's a great question. So the organizational structure at the corporate level is you have the two principals, which is me and Ian. And then below that, you have Beth Davis, who's our VP of operations and asset management, who oversees, she has property managers that report to her. Then you have our VP of corporate office, which is Sandra Myers. She oversees pretty much the entire corporate office, accounting, distribution management, reporting, compliance. And then you have Laura Patillo, who handles loan and compliance, investor relations. I also handle investor relations. And then we have Dave Vasquez, who's our director of construction. Well, he's not technically the director of construction anymore, but he used to work for Ian for 15 years. And then in 2020, so Ian, my business partner, he bought 7,000 units and sold off the entire portfolio in 2022. So he made a crap load of money. His investors did very well.
Wow. Perfect timing. Wow.
Yeah, perfect timing. So when he sold off his portfolio of probably about $1 billion in assets. So perfect timing for me because he didn't have a portfolio and he had the track record. So he gave me the platform. When he sold off the portfolio, Dave Vasquez, his director of construction, he went on to start on his own construction company, but Ian funded it. So Ian owns 30% of the construction company. So we get, he does all of our bids and everything at 10%, cost plus 10% versus 50%. So, but he's technically part of the corporate office. So we have two principals, Beth, Sandra, Laura, and then you have Dave, and we have a few admin people that help us with reporting. But that's the corporate structure. So we're very nimble. We're about six to seven in the corporate office.
Great. No, it sounds very structured and clear. And do the people, like you mentioned, the construction, your operations manager, do they all have a small equity in your deals, or how do you structure that, or is it all salaried?
So Beth, Sandra, Laura, Dave used to have salary, but Dave owns his own company now. So Beth, Sandra, Laura are only salary, and Ian and I, we don't pay ourselves anything. We only make we have equity in the company, and then we get paid. We're GPs on every single deal, so we get paid through the deals. And since we have equity in the company, since we have ownership in HM. Once we're revenue neutral right now through our property management fees. So once we close another deal, we'll have net profit at the asset management level, at the corporate level. So I'll be able to finally start paying myself on a monthly basis, which would be nice because I've been living meagerly for the last couple of years.
Yeah, Ben needs a vacation.
Yeah. You mentioned that you were even willing to take a little bit lower promote when you get this higher check because you for the next couple of years. But Ian, who is way more experienced and he's kind of on for the ride with you, similar philosophy, I guess.
Yeah, so Ian is much more seasoned. He's made his cash. He's on the older side. He's edging 58. So that's not old, but he's just for anyone that's in their late 50s, early 60s, that's not old, I promise. He's older than I. He has the gray hairs that I need to get into this business. But he doesn't have the energy that I have and the brute force and tenacity that I have since I'm 25 years younger than him. So we have different roles. He's more of a mentorship role and I am go. So he doesn't have the same desire and almost care in terms of economics and partnership structures and promote structures because he's made his cash, he's successful. He more so wants to leave a legacy for his kids and to help me build the business again to where I can take over fully 100%.
Yeah, be careful
thanks for
with the
sharing.
age.
Huh?
I said, be careful with the age thing.
No, you guys are totally not old at all. My mom is 60 and she's punching strong.
It's not the age so much as it is the mileage.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks so much for sharing. Yes, very inspiring.
Absolutely.
Really good questions, guys. Really good. All right. So I think that'll wrap us up for Q&A. I don't see any other questions. Okay. Very good stuff. So now we're going to put you guys into breakout sessions. You guys can all hang out, network, chat a little bit. I think we'll have time for two, maybe just one. We'll see how it goes. But first, we have to do our group picture. So everyone turn your cameras on. Let me see those pearly whites, those beautiful faces. Turn your cameras on. Spotlight here. Cameras on, everybody. Let me see those handsome faces. All right. Oh, remove your spotlight. There we go. Everyone, we flex around here for our group picture. Benjamin, let's see those guns. Everyone ready? Flex. Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Awesome, guys.